you mentioned fantasy and you mentioned Lord of the Rings earlier. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is just what is your favorite fantasy world? Is it Middle Earth?
It's actually the fantasy world from The Witcher. I think there's
Okay.
there's nothing that I invested more into, like, emotionally in a game than The Witcher 3. And
Mm.
even like with the DLC on that game, like those were some of the best Blood and Stone, Blood and Wine, Hearts of
Mm.
Stone. Like those were some of the best pieces of gaming I've ever played, and I was so distraught when it was all over. I came late, but I bought all the books and I read all the books. And went back. I played all they had the Thronebreaker game. I don't know if you ever saw that one where it was like a Gwent game where you controlled a character, you could get resources and stuff, and the battles were fought by playing Gwent. And just it was just the one that I loved the most. And I think this is a little cheesy, but I think that Yennefer is very much reminds me of my wife, just like a boss. And I love that in a female character, just no F's given and just a rock star. And so I think that was the other part of it. I just loved the characters, and that's the one that I enjoyed the most. I fell in love with the most.
Yeah, I love the grittiness of the world, and I think
Hmm.
this is a common critique of Tolkien and Middle
Hmm.
Earth is that, and I actually don't think it's a problem, but the characters are very heroic in the sense that, especially in the books, they are
Hmm.
true heroes. Game of Thrones, things are a little bit more humanized. They're
Yeah.
less idealistic, and in
Hmm.
The Witcher, it's in some instances it's almost worse than that. Like you'll
Yeah.
make a choice in the game, and you think this is the right moral choice, and then
Hmm.
the game completely flips it, and you realize,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a monster. I've just done the worst
Yeah.
possible thing. And
Yeah.
there's something nice about that. That the brutality of that world, if
Hmm.
I could say it that way. Um, is that something that you enjoy about the Witcher games, apart from the
I think,
mechanics?
yeah, I think of it is, I think it's great because you have real consequences to actions. Like I think the Bloody Baron quest, right? One of the first ones where you have to take the baby or whatever, and it ends and there's that cut scene. And I got like the worst one, it's like the wife died, the guy killed himself, and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was doing the right thing. But I think that's a great way to storytell, because
Mm.
I think that it's so often like in a fetch quest or anything, you basically, it's like go to A to B and then you get the dialogue tree, good choice, bad choice. Okay, I'm pick the good choice. I'm the hero. But in games like that, it kind of explores a little bit more of the complexity of the interaction that people have, and how you may be helping one person is actually making things worse for another person. You choose to bring the wife back to the Baron, and that makes things worse for everyone. And you choose to say no, and he does this. And I think that it adds a little bit more tangible weight to decisions, where everything is fleshed out more in a way where you can't just do the cookie cutter thing.
Yeah, a consequence has to matter. I'm a big lover of board games. You can't see
Okay.
them in the shelf, but I've got a big bookshelf just full of board games. And to me, there's nothing worse than when you're playing a board game with somebody and they say, "You know what? I don't even care. This is just a game. Like
Yeah.
I don't care."
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than that. There has to be a sense of consequence. And to me,
Mhm.
play is something that you do it for its own sake.
Mhm.
This kind of speaker, Alan Watts, had this line that the point of listening to a song is not to get to the end of the song. Otherwise, the best orchestras would be the ones that played the fastest. The
Yeah.
point of the song is found in each moment of the song. The point of the song is the song. In the same way,
Mhm.
the point of the game, you have to see the consequence within it. If you just constantly go, "Oh, this is just pointless," uh,
Mhm.
you'll never be invested in anything. And I think that, just to come back, the Witcher games, you sort of mentioned it, they imbue everything with this with consequence, and that
Mhm.
is actually what makes it gripping.
Yeah.
And the less the less grounded it feels, the more on the surface, the more superficial. What's the point of emotionally investing, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
If you'd like to watch another clip from the podcast, you can click here. If you're sold on watching the full interview, you can click here. And if you'd like to do a good deed for the day, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being here, and peace be with you.